No one anywhere was going to separate my family from me. I was not going to be forced into single motherhood by Donald Trump, by the EU, by anybody, by God himself. I don't care.
Half a year into the pandemic, most people just want hugs or to cheer inside an arena to be one voice among thousands. But for some binational families, even small amounts of being together are impossible right now.
I've been in and out of therapy for, the majority of my pregnancy because of all this, because being pregnant is such a stressful time anyways, never mind during a pandemic, never mind your partner being ripped from you indefinitely.
Corsi Crumpler lives in the U.S., while her fiancé Sean Donovan is based in Ireland. They were expecting their first child when the pandemic hit back in March.
To keep new cases from entering our shores, we will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days.
But it wasn't just 30 days, and it wasn't just the U.S. One by one, countries' borders started closing.
EU leaders now have agreed to close Europe's external borders to prevent the spread of the coronavirus.
We'll be restricting travel from Brazil, not because we don't love the Brazilian people and we don't want to help them and they're not a close ally, but just to protect the American people during this crisis.
The European Union is considering banning travelers from several countries as restrictions are eased. That ban could include travelers from the United States.
The uncertainty gave life to the Love Is Not tourism movement on Facebook. As couples globally gathered virtually to share stories about border closures and visas.
Today I logged on and there was 8,100 people that are a part of the Love Is Not tourism.
Lauren Magruder and Gazim Dima have been using the group to find a way to reunite from the US and Albania while they wait for their fiancé visas to be processed.
For the past, 6 months, we were just in those travel ban groups trying to figure out loopholes or predict when it was going to end. I have a business and I have 2 children, so it's not that easy for me to just hop on a plane and go there. But once that lawyer told us how long it was really going to be, kind of confirmed our worst fears. So that's what was like, okay, what country can we both go to? Which is what led us to the Mexico choice.
A consensus was beginning to grow within the group. Mexico presented the most seamless place for couples to reunite. Zia van der Elsken and Sean Sandoval met there after quarantining apart in the Netherlands and the US.
We're on a student budget, so we pretty much just scraped up every last penny that we could have.
The reason we decided to go to Mexico was because we read a lot of success stories of people from both US and EU going there and successfully getting through the border.
After not seeing her for five and a half months, that was surreal.
Yeah, we were like, I was touching you, like, are you actually here?
There was death.
So strange. Yeah.
Mexico wasn't so cut and dry for couple Frida Fernanda Reyes Arroyo and Max Haberle.
Our wedding was on the 21st of March, and it was a Saturday. And then on Monday, the restrictions came. So we were quite lucky that we could still celebrate our wedding.
So the main problem was that the religious wedding is not recognized neither by the Mexican or the German state. So legally, we were unmarried.
We need a different definition of family in the eyes of the government, because even if you look for the exceptions, for example, to enter the European Union, you see family members, but then you click on family members and it says married family members or children on this age. But you don't really find, for example, that for couples who have been together for half a year or something. And I really think that needs to to be changed somehow.
Austria, Norway, Denmark, and now Germany are allowing sweetheart visa exemptions so unmarried couples can reunite. Mary Dangerfield is flying to meet her partner in Germany.
I learned of this 3 or 4 days ago, so it's hard not to jump on the phone and say, yes, can we go? Can we go? At this moment in time, and I'm planning potentially the last chapter. We're close to the last chapter of my life, and here it is. I hesitate to say this. on camera, but we're going to get married.
Liu Ying Cao was separated from her boyfriend shortly after her cancer surgery. Now, after months apart, they're reuniting in Austria.
We were quite lucky that Austria is now ahead of other European countries to open up. But also I'm lucky enough to have my parents' understanding, and after observing how painfully we lived during those 3 months and 4 months, my parents were also gradually accepting the fact that I would do this travel no matter what.
My wife took her last flight from Dubai to India with the children. I took a flight just before the lockdown. I mean, when I reached here, the lockdown was announced.
Ali Jawad moved from the United Arab Emirates to Romania just before the EU closed its borders.
We are already in August. It's been almost 5 months that I've not seen my kids, not seen my wife. It's probably the most challenging time in anybody's life. It's just too much anxiety right now. I mean, I'm already a heart patient. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I tell my wife, I may not survive where your spouses or your loved ones are not allowed to meet by borders. My wife being an Indian and I being a Pakistani was the biggest border that I have in my life. But this is a border which has been built by the virus, and this is affecting everyone.
This is unknown to Americans. We've never had this kind of experience before. In some ways, we are very spoiled. We've taken so much for granted.
It's exhausting emotionally to never know every morning when you wake up what's going to happen. And all I want is for us to be in one place all together and not have to worry about borders or bans or what's going to happen tomorrow.
Just let us meet. I mean, this is like living in jail, to be honest. It's just too dark.